go. Hi, I'm Valerie Milano from the Hollywood Times, and I'm so happy to have you here today. But I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourselves. Thank you.
Ladies
Sure.
first.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, Valerie, thanks for having us here today. I'm Lynette Tichelle, and I am one of the writers, producer, and also I play Angie in Angie's Cure.
And I'm Corey Grant, one of the writers, producers, and the directors of Angie's Cure.
On this wonderful and powerful movie that was
Thank
here with Dances and Films a couple of weeks ago. And thank you so much for joining us. I wish I could have met you in person. It's film festival craze right now. I'm sure you know. Where am I talking to you from? Where were you both at? Where are
we're
you?
both based in Los Angeles.
Right.
Oh, you're both in Los Angeles. Okay, me too.
Physically,
Physically.
yeah, Los Angeles. Yeah, Los Angeles, Woodland Hills specifically.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, so I am literally in Hollywood. So I just finished the Outfest Film Festival, and then now is the Los Angeles Short Film Festival. And then I leave for Toronto on Wednesday for the Female Eye Film Festival. And I've been talking, before we get into your film, I kind of want to talk about film festivals and congratulate you on the award, right? You won some award.
Thank you so much.
Talk about that.
Man, well, for the award, we were completely shocked and honored, and just to win the Grand Jury Award at the Dances with Films Festival was just, I mean, it was the prize itself, believe it or not, was the festival. We'd never been a part of a festival for anything that were so many genuine, hungry, supportive filmmakers. And it was from the top down. So it was an amazing festival. So when you said film festival crazy, oh my gosh, trying to make all the showings and the screenings and the meetings, that was an event. But I mean, it was well worth it. So to win that award was just kind of the cherry on top, for us, for Angie's Cure.
Absolutely. And how about you, Corey? How do you feel about it?
I mean, anytime you get recognized from your peers is good. It was very it caught me off guard for sure. I know we had a good film, but it definitely caught me off guard. So we definitely felt honored. But just the love and the support we got from not only the festival but all the filmmakers there was the real reward, if you really want to. So we're just very happy about it, and it just further shows a sign for us to keep going and keep making movies.
Yeah. Bravo. That's really, really wonderful. And again, congratulations. I hear what's happening regarding the film festivals is that it's kind of easier. And I don't know how long you two have been working together or what films you've done in the past, and we can talk about that in a sec. But is that, I know me as a journalist and me having a publication, we're crazy busy, with these film festivals, like I said, and that now it seems to be a little bit easier for you guys to be able to apply for these film festivals because they have a certain way that you can apply, that you can see everything that's going on as far as film festivals are concerned, that you can sort of pick and choose and apply. Do you know anything about that?
Well, me personally, I mean, I've played festivals in the past. I've won a couple festivals with other movies, but not as much as I would like. But the festival circuit has really become very, very broad. There's a lot of festivals for every type of movie, type of genre, filmmaker, race, creed, color, gender, anything. There's so many categories. And I think it's good because now people have access to certain technology where a lot more people are able to make their movies and express themselves. And there's a lot of film festivals to accommodate them. So it's definitely become a lot more accessible and wide.
I wasn't even aware until recently, and I'm still not exactly sure of the number of how many film festivals there are. But even looking, on places like Film Freeway, it's mind blowing because now when you get on the mailing list, you're like, what is this one? Where is this? So, I mean, to your point, I'm sure that opens up opportunities a lot more for filmmakers to be able to apply to multiple different festivals and have many opportunities. It wasn't really the case with us for Angie's Cure. We didn't apply to a lot of festivals. Even Dances with Films was, our attorney actually mentioned that it was a great festival. He was like, oh, I've had some clients do this festival and we were on the late extended deadline. And so we were like, oh, okay, well, we've heard something good. And so it was one of those where we heard it from a firsthand source, where you don't have to decipher, is this a good festival? Are the people great? What are the ethics like of the festival? So that's what made us decide to go with this one. But we hadn't applied we hadn't submitted to very many festivals at all.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm putting myself on mute because I forgot to put my emails on hold, so I'm blowing up
Oh,
here.
right.
So I apologize. In a
Okay.
minute, maybe I'll remember to do that. But thank you. Thank you for talking about the film festival circuit, because I've been asking all the people that I've been interviewing from all these film festivals that same question, because I'm trying to get a handle on what this world is about right now. And I'm not even going to go into the strike because that's a whole nother subject. And I want to talk about your film, your very powerful film. And thank you for sharing it with us. And again, just amazing. Okay, so Angie is a victim from the word go. Everyone in her life seems to blame her for their problems, as well as her own traumas. I'm just using my own opinion. Starting with her rape and the gang killing on the same night. Is this story typical of the experience of growing up in violence for our Black youth? Do you have an opinion on that?
First?
Yes, to a certain extent. I grew up in an area that had a lot of gang violence. I lost friends to different things, but because you see things on I hate to say regular basis, but frequently, it's like a duality between one world and another. You get kind of used to it. So I'm not trying to minimize, but it becomes like
you become desensitized
to it to a certain extent, yes. So a lot of the characters that you see in Angie's Cure are people that I've seen, that I grew up with. And then you have others like myself going to do great things. I have a friend that's about to become a judge. It's a duality. When you grew up in a certain neighborhood or certain environments with the city and things that are going on, things happen. You grew up in an environment, but it's definitely a reality to a lot of people. Not all, but a lot.
Yeah, I would say too, like with Angie's Cure in particular, I think the characters that you kind of see either got out or made the best of the situation where they were would be, the shop owner who stayed in the community but decided to do something and make the community better. And then you got the person that Angie's mom, her friend, who made it and is kind of saying, I made it out, so there are people there. It's definitely a thing where people say, you have to make it out. And making it out just means that if you're in a place that's going to perpetuate stereotypes, perpetuate the violence, either you figure out a way to get the resources to leave, figure out what you could do to come back and then change that environment or add to it, or people have to leave so that they don't become a victim of the same circumstances that so many people become victim to just by staying in an area that has high violence, high crime. So it's definitely a lot of truth to the characters. Fortunately, it's not like that everywhere, but that city is reflective of a lot of, dangerous cities that we see in the African-American culture and all over, that are just bad cities. And sometimes making it out is as close as moving 15 minutes away, 10 minutes up the other side of the hill to see a new mentality, a new life, and then kind of be rerouted. Or you have to latch on to somebody that's within your community that can help be a light while you're there,
Well, adult Angie uses JD the burglar to work, to vent her life's frustrations. In this tale of circumstances, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, both for young Angie and adult JD. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Well, one of the things is, like I said, they kind of what they call it you came with that
Oh, trauma bonding.
trauma bonding.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie's called Angie's Cure, and it's typically about Angie and what she's dealing with, how she grows up, or whatever the case may be. But it's really not about Angie. It's about Angie. It's about JD. It's about our police officers. It's about several different people. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure that, well, me personally, that I wanted to make sure got through was that you never know what somebody's going through, what made them do the things that they do. JD, you see him as a criminal, gang member, what have you, but you don't know what caused him to go that route. You see the exterior and what he's doing, but when you peel back those layers, you see he's a human being. You see caring, he's a father, he's stressed about his daughter. So there's a duality to a lot of different people, and a lot of times we look at the exterior and we form our opinions, but what we wanted to do was really peel back the layers as to why people are the way they are, how did they get there, and who are they truly to their core. That was the main thing. There's a duality between Angie and JD.
Yeah, I would say that for Angie's Cure, it's a bunch of stories that actually intertwine. In life, they might not intertwine in that way and in that moment, but to be able to capture something, in just over an hour and a half, it was important that you take real situations that, and all of these are very real things that we either know personally or secondhand. Like these are people that we know, and we were hoping that our audience, and fortunately our audience is like, oh my gosh, I know this person, or this was my aunt, or I had a friend like this. And we took those situations, and then we had to find a way to even show the judgment while you're a victim judging someone else who's in another situation that they are, pretty much they're in the cycle, the same cycle that you are. And so by putting those people together, we're showing what happens when all of these different things collide, when these worlds collide. And then you realize there's more that brings you together than that actually separates you as people when you actually listen to the circumstances. So that was really important, that we kind of show people that we know, and that people could have someone to identify with in the story, and that you don't stay a victim, but that you realize at some point you have to reclaim your power. And it's one thing to start a victim, but it's how you choose to finish. So we wanted to make sure that showed through. And then the biggest thing, and I'll give it back to you, the biggest thing was the cycle of trauma in the African American community and the code of silence that surrounds it. There's so many times that these things are common practice. A lot of things that happen with Angie, things that have happened to JD, generation after generation after generation goes through this, and then nobody talks because a lot of people don't have a safe space. And so more than anything, we wanted to encourage whatever the viewers thought of it, to talk about it. What were your ideas? Should she have done this? Should JD have done that? But just to start a conversation, that was a really big thing for me, that it would be, a conversation starter.
Yeah, well, victim blaming is a big theme here, but taking back the power, lost in the rape looms larger. In the end, is that the cure? Like reclaiming the power to determine your own future and learning not to let one day define you?
Exactly. I mean, everybody goes through some things, and it prepares you for the next day and the next day. And if you carry on certain traumas, certain bad things that happen to you, of course, you're gonna have that baggage with you. It's gonna dictate everything you do. But you have to realize that at any given point, you can find some help, or you can find some resolution, or find a reason why certain things happen, learn from it, find something positive out of it, and continue to move forward.
Yeah, you nailed it, to not let one day define you, because the methods might be questionable to some, I'm sure. The way that the characters got where they got is, that's the part that people will have to ask, what would they have done? But the bottom line is to not let one day define you, and to get to that place.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This also is a love story gone horribly wrong from the beginning, when we learned that Angie and her captive JD, crossed paths the night of her rape. Again, this is a reality or a dramatic twist that adds emphasis to the tragic paths these two have traveled in the ensuing years. Can you talk about that? The love story portion.
Circumstantial, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of times, you're around people, and people might meet at a certain point, go through their lives, and some fate draws them back together. It just so happened that a traumatic event that they both experienced the night they met,
Yeah.
reconnected them years later, you know. But it was definitely something, a plot device for us, as far as wanting to really, we're very intricate in how we write our scripts, like to tie things together and keep people guessing. Because at the end of the day, we have people in a theater for a certain amount of time. What are you saying? You have
Yeah.
to say something, and so a lot of times it's kind of hard to, you want to entertain and enlighten,
Right.
and that's the balance that we have to have. So we have to remember, we have to entertain, but we also have to have a voice of saying something while we have people's attention. So,
And then I think part of it too, with when you're seeing how they start, you kind of see the young eye, bushy tail, innocent, very, very innocent, both of them. And then when you see how they finish, so many times in life, you meet a person where they are, you see them at the finish line. And so for the audience to be able to go on the ride with both of them and put that together, how they start and how they finish, there's even more empathy at that point because you see what could have been.
you didn't like JD when you first
Yeah.
met him, did you? You didn't like him. And I think most people don't, but
Yeah.
at the movie theater, towards the end, they're rooting for him and they're shocked. They're caring about him. And a lot of times they don't realize that ride that they've gone on to start getting empathy for this character. And then they just realize, oh, I like this guy. So
I was just thinking, aside from everything we're talking about, that party scene, oh my goodness, how long did that take you to shoot?
Be
There was a
surprised.
lot going on.
miraculously, only 2 days.
Yeah.
Whoa, good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, we've been, shooting for so long and making movies. We know how to move fast, but move efficiently,
Excellent.
and really plan out so we can kind of, get a lot of coverage. My shout out to my DP, Eduardo Ramirez Gonzalez, and my first AD, Jamar. But we've been working together for years,
Yeah.
though. But only 2 days, and it opens the movie. You have to open it big to bring them in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You feel like you're in a different type of movie at the beginning. Then.
and that's another thing. It's 2 different movies.
Yeah.
A lot of times people think they're getting one movie
Until they get
the main movie. But that setup in the beginning is crucial for the rides you go on later. And like I said, demographically, it appeals to 2 different sides of the coin. But when I have you in the theater, you have to watch. And then you realize, oh, I see why I like that, So, but yeah, thank you. We work real hard on that opening sequence.
Excellent. Because that was my next thing. Is like, what are you thinking about next?
It's always something.
I know it's all well. We've got one project right now that is still in post. It's a sci-fi project. We share a great love of sci-fi and in that genre. Ironically, it definitely is AI centered, and this is something that we shot actually just a tad bit before Angie's Cure, but because the visual effects and things like that, it's longer to complete. But now it's more relevant than ever. So we've got that we're preparing for. Really excited about it. And then we've got some projects as soon as we've got a couple of things already written, but we're both, writer's guild.
A horror film that we're gonna rewrite on now. And then I did a Bigfoot movie called Bigfoot: The Lost Coast Tapes that I did years back. And it's actually been pretty successful. It's gone worldwide. And so years later, everybody's been hammering for a sequel.
Yes.
And then finally, myself and the writer finally cracked a new sequel.
Yeah.
And we're probably gonna, because we usually let the business kind of dictate which way we go, because we have to be smart, especially being independent.
Independent film.
But we may do a crowdfunding campaign for the Bigfoot sequel, because it's more for the fans of the movie.
And they've waited long enough.
They've waited a long time. So this thing is definitely happening.
Good for you. Well, great. I know we're all busy people, and so how can our readers and our viewers find you both and any other projects that you're working on?
Sure. I would say, well, for one, our website would be a great place newbreedentertainment.org. They can always check there, see what's going on. We're at angiescure.com, and then both of us are on social media. And that's a great way to follow and keep up in real time with what's going on and what we'll be able to get back on the ground with, especially once this strike is resolved.
And what's your
So-
social media?
Oh yeah, my social media is I'm on Instagram, so I'm Lynette Techel. It's LANETT_TACHEL.
And I'm on Instagram at Corey, COREYGN2 Corey GNTU on Instagram. And we're all over the place. So
Yeah.
All right, well, we're the Hollywood Times today, and our YouTube is the Hollywood Times Official. So we will continue to impress your movie, your Angie's Cure on our platforms as well. And
Much
just wanna
appreciated. Thank you.
thank you for taking the time, and we'll send you a link to all this. And again, congratulations, and we'll continue to look out for you.
Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, sweetie. Thank you. Thank you both. All right. Bye-bye.